What if something was living inside your body, right now, without you even knowing? It might sound unsettling, but intestinal worms infect millions of people around the world. Many of these infections go completely unnoticed at first. These organisms can quietly live, grow, and even reproduce inside the human body, often without clear warning signs. So how do they get in? What do they do inside you? And how can you tell if they're there? Let's take a closer look. Intestinal worms, also known as helminths, are parasitic organisms that live inside the digestive system. The most common types include roundworms, which are long and smoothie tapeworms, which are flat and segmented, and hookworms, which are smaller but attached to the intestinal wall. Each type has its own structure and behavior, but they all share one goal: survival inside a host. And in this case, that host can be the human body. These parasites don't just appear, they enter the body through everyday exposure. One of the most common ways is through contaminated food or water. Tiny worm eggs, invisible to the eye, can be swallowed without you realizing it. Poor hygiene, like not washing hands properly, can also transfer these eggs into the body. And in some cases, especially with hookworms, the larvae can penetrate the skin, often through bare feet walking on contaminated soil. Simple actions can lead to hidden infections. Once inside the body, the journey begins. The eggs travel through the digestive system, carried along with food and fluids. As they move through the intestines, they begin to develop. Some hatch into larvae, which continue moving and growing within the body. The intestines provide the perfect environment: warm, nutrient-rich, and constantly active. Inside the intestines, these organisms follow a life cycle. It begins with microscopic eggs. These hatch into larvae, which mature into adult worms. Once fully grown, the worms can reproduce, releasing more eggs into the digestive system. Some of these eggs leave the body, continuing the cycle, while others may remain and develop further. This continuous cycle allows the infection to persist if not treated. Most intestinal worms settle in the small or large intestines. Some attach themselves to the intestinal walls, while others move freely within the digestive tract. Here they feed on nutrients from the food you eat, or in some cases, even on blood. Over time, their presence can begin to interfere with the body's normal functions. In the early stages, symptoms are often mild or completely absent. You might notice slight bloating, occasional stomach discomfort, or a general feeling of fatigue. Because these signs are subtle, they are often overlooked or mistaken for something else. But inside the body, changes are already beginning. As the worms grow and multiply, symptoms can become more noticeable. Unexplained weight loss may occur, even if eating habits haven't changed. Digestive issues like diarrhea or constipation can develop. In more severe cases, worms may even become visible. And with certain types like hookworms, blood loss can lead to anemia, causing weakness and low energy. At this stage, the body is clearly being affected. To confirm an infection, medical testing is required. The most common method is a stool test. A small sample is examined under a microscope to look for worm eggs or fragments. This process allows doctors to identify the type of worm and determine the right treatment. In many cases, detection is simple, but only if symptoms are taken seriously. Intestinal worms don't just live in the body, they compete with it. They absorb nutrients that your body needs for energy, growth, and repair. Over time, this can weaken the immune system and reduce overall health. The body may struggle to function at its best, especially if the infection continues untreated. The good news is, intestinal worm infections are often preventable. Simple habits can make a big difference. Wash your hands regularly, especially before eating. Drink clean, safe water. Cook food thoroughly. And avoid walking barefoot in areas where soil may be contaminated. These small actions can break the cycle of infection. Intestinal worms may be hidden, but their effects on the body are real. Understanding how they enter, live, and affect your system is the first step toward prevention and treatment. With proper hygiene, awareness, and medical care, these infections can be controlled and avoided. Stay informed, stay protected, and take care of your health.